He delivers. Swing and a miss.
A 6'4" right-hander out of Lafayette, Indiana. Josh Lindblom has always loved baseball.
Going out, I remember playing catch in our street in front of our house. So just something that I've always loved to do.
A love that has taken him, his wife Ariel, and his children Presley, Palmer, and Monroe around the globe. From stints with the Dodgers to Philadelphia, all the way to Korea.
It's one of the best baseball experiences that we've had. So long journey, now I'm back playing in the States.
The unpredictable nature of baseball has made Victory Field a temporary home for Josh Lindblom. And while he's used to dishing out pitches at more than 90 miles an hour, nothing could prepare him for the curveball thrown his way in October 2016.
You know, you have this confusion stage where you're like angry. And I think from the beginning, I was just, you reach that point of anger and you have to get through that and kind of, you know, work through like, why us? Like, why is this happening to our family?
At 25 weeks of her pregnancy with Monroe, a routine appointment with doctors in Korea revealed something terribly wrong.
And I can just tell from the look on his face that he sees something wrong.
They found hypoplastic right heart syndrome, meaning the right side of Monroe's heart was a lot smaller than the left. Ariel and the kids returned home to Indiana immediately to prepare, leaving Josh alone in Korea, where he found comfort on the mound.
When I was able to pitch, you know, that was the only time that I didn't have to think about, you know, her, what was going on, or knowing that the second that I landed in America, I was essentially stepping into a storm.
The perfect storm hit the Lindbloms on October 20th. Moments after Ariel gave birth to Monroe, doctors rushed the newborn to Riley's Children's Hospital for life-saving surgery.
Are you excited?
Big blue eyes and a beautiful smile greet the Lindbloms every day. Mom monitors Monroe closely, but a feeding tube marks the only physical reminder of a heart condition.
We've been molded for this, you know, like our whole life and all the change we've had to deal with and all the, you know, the highs and the lows of baseball.
Something that was important to us throughout this whole thing was not separating our family.
0-2 pitch.
A call from the Pirates last fall answered their prayers.
Swing and a miss.
An opportunity to potentially stay near home when playing for the Indians. And now when Josh pitches, he has a new perspective.
You go out, you give a few runs, you know, the sun's gonna come up tomorrow. I don't let those things affect me as much as I do in the past.
No matter the outcome of a game, the only team that matters is back home again in Indiana. Megan McEwen, 24-Hour News 8.
Tucked away in Wayne County, just east of Indy, the city of Richmond is known for a couple of things, like its Red Devil High School pride, the beautiful Tiernan Center, and Mrs. Lawrence's famous chocolate cake, because believe me, it's just that good.
I am always the first one in the hospitality room. I get at least 2 slices, put a cover on it, put it in the fridge so nobody else can get it.
Cake is amazing, but Joanne is equally amazing. She's definitely the queen of hospitality for Indiana high school basketball.
88-year-old Joanne Lawrence is Richmond royalty, reigning for over 50 years as one of the Red Devils' most loyal fans.
My husband graduated from Richmond. In fact, he played on the 53 basketball team that went to state. We went to every game, so from 54, every ball game that in town and out of town.
And paired with her perfect attendance record, Miss Lawrence's devotion has nourished the entire Red Devil community. For nearly 4 decades, she has generously served coaches, players, officials, and anyone who walks through the doors of the Richmond Athletic Hospitality Room.
And a teaspoon of baking soda.
Everything is made from scratch, and at the center of it all, her famous chocolate cake.
She's a fixture. She's like the mayor of the Tiernan Center here. People come in from all over and they always ask about her.
I can say that Rick Pitino came down one day and he came in and, you know, oh, that's pretty good. It makes Richmond sort of stand out. That people will say, oh, you know, we want to come there. So, you know, and it does make you feel good. I get tickled because I don't think I'm anybody special. It's just I got something that people like. It's homemade. I doubt if I've got $5 in a cake, but it spreads a lot more than that.
While humble in her efforts, Miss Lawrence has cooked up a sweet tradition that reminds us all that there are invaluable lessons to be learned on the Hoosier High School hardwood.
In the heart of downtown Atlanta, there's a restaurant that considers itself American fast food at its best. The Varsity. It's been a staple in Atlanta since 1928, and its food has been a talker for decades. And the Varsity can't wait to host fans coming in for the biggest game in football.
To have that crowd coming in for such a fun event and just to celebrate football, you know, our main logo is a football player.
Terry Brookshire is the general manager of the Varsity. And come game week, the restaurant is expecting to serve up to 15,000 or more customers a day, both inside.
One chili cheese steak.
And the biggest drive-thru in the world. Hot dogs, fries, hamburgers, and their world-famous onion rings, all among the favorites.
Chili cheese, chocolate shake.
And the team at the Varsity is always ready to go because on any given day, the lines can look like this.
Fries or onion rings?
We got two folks here stacking, one for the fries, one for the onion rings. Multiple fry cooks, multiple onion ring cooks, and they're going as fast as they can go.
And when you come to the Varsity, you better know what you want to order. Because soon as you step up to the counter, you're greeted with,
Let's get in line. What do you have? What do you have? What you gonna have? Hey. What do you have?
So how did those famous words, what do you have, come about?
Mr. Gordy's mentality was he wanted it to be polite and fast.
Let's get in line. What do you have? What do you have?
He just got into that habit, you know, what do you have? What do you have? What do you have? And if you didn't spit it out quick enough, you'd get skipped. I got skipped right over there when I was a little kid.
Derry says what makes the Varsity so special are the employees and their longevity with the restaurant.
Miss Jada's coming up on 40 years.
Wait a minute, 40 years here at the Varsity?
Almost 40 years.
Almost 40 years.
Coming up on it.
Yes, I can't wait.
Lynn, she looks like she's like a teenager.
Yes, she does. Oh,
See?
awesome. So are you excited for the Super Bowl coming to
Oh,
town?
yeah. Oh, yeah. Get your money in your hand, your order in your mind.
Then there's Rebecca,
Hey, what you gonna have?
who's been working at the Varsity for almost 40 years. She says the hardest part of her job is dealing with those hectic lines.
Well, when they get really busy, it's rough. You scratch your head, but we still get them out of here fast.
But as a daily routine, she has loved every step of the way, hat and all.
I just love it, like we are like family. This place have sent my children to college. All three of my children went to school while I was working here, so they really take good care of it.
From Indianapolis, this is All Access Indy Madness. Coming up, the road to the Final Four will begin and end right here in Indiana.
Right out to sports director Anthony Calhoun, who broke that story for us.
The city of Indianapolis supplying host to the entire 2021 men's NCAA basketball tournament.
An event this state was made for.
Basketball is in the DNA and fiber and fabric of the state of Indiana.
67 games in just 19 days. To prepare for that, some might say, is madness.
Normally we would have the better part of 2 years to plan for something like this, and as a community, we've been working on it for just over 3 months now.
Purdue will represent the state of Indiana as the home team, but there are lots of Hoosiers coming home for the big dance.
Travion Williams having a game of games.
Buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. All Access Indy Madness starts now. Live from Indianapolis, this is Countdown to Kickoff. Coming up, the curse on the coast continued last week, and the Colts will try and bounce back today at home against the Cleveland Browns.
You got to move on. You got to treat losses and wins the same way. Reflect on them. Feel what you feel from them, but then, it's all about that next week.
Minshew, here comes the blitz, throws off his back foot into the end zone, and he throws it up, and it's picked off.
Despite his 4-turnover game against the Jaguars, the Colts are confident with Gardner Minshew as QB1 the rest of the season.
They call it Minshew magic, but it's because he prepares. He prepares like a true professional, and that's why he's able to do what he can on the field.
As for Anthony Richardson, how important are the next couple of months for his development off the field? Chuck Pagano will join the show live to talk about the future of the franchise.
Fires it left side into the end zone. Josh Downs, touchdown!
The only thing better than your first career touchdown catch, countdown to kickoff, which starts now. From Indianapolis, this is All Access Indy, the 500. Coming up, Scott McLaughlin will start on the pole for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500.
Relief more than anything, because you just knew that you did 4 amazing laps, but just ultimately it was just like a proud moment.
McLaughlin will be joined on the front row by his Penske teammates, Will Power and Joseph Newgarden.
The speed at this track comes from a year-long effort. It's never across this month.
The field of 33 is set, and we'll take a look at each row of the starting grid. And look out for Kyle Larson, who will be making his first Indy 500 start.
Really cool. It's gone much better than I ever could have anticipated or ever hoped. So just proud of everybody at Aero McLaren.
Drivers, start your engines. All Access Indy, the 500, starts now.